Could you tell us a little bit about your company? What's the name of your company and what do you do?
The name of my company is Florid.
And why did you choose Florid?
Yes. As I pitch myself to people, it is putting pedal to the metal on erasing the chaos of home violence on a mainstream level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, I find it fitting that you brought up the NASCAR, story, and it's kind of fitting with my company. I wanted a name that was empowering, that said speed, urgency. We need to fix this now because it's already way overdue. I wanted an empowering name because when Florid is an expression in the race car industry, in the race car sports industry, putting pedal to the metal. So, and you think race car, you think empowerment, victory, justice, freedom. So domestic violence, home violence has such a reputation of you don't want to talk about it, it's morbid, it's heavy. So I wanted to kind of give it a different, give it a facelift, if you will, kind of like where people will want to talk about it, where people will want to break the silence, break the taboo. So, and I want to get victims out of victim mode and into empower mode, where they're non-victims. So I feel like the name Florid encompasses all of that. The speed, the urgency, the empowerment, the justice, the victory, the all of that all together, and enough with the slowness. Oh, you got raped, you got abused, here, take a brochure.
Yeah, call that number.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right, call that number. It's like a division of motor vehicle pace, very slow. No, we need to step on it.
Right.
We need to floor it. We need to get with it.
That's awesome.
You know?
And what do you do within your company?
Yes, there's several components to my company, and some of it is I am an education consultant for schools and corporations on erasing home violence through my seminars and workshops called Home Sweet Home. And I go into corporations and I, first of all, it's the human resource department that would get me in, to educate the employees, upper management, and supervisors. And first I would educate the supervisors and upper management, and it's several steps that I do where I establish a corporate policy. In other words, there will be no domestic violence, no home violence in this corporate atmosphere, because you have to think, once you step into corporate land, so to speak, you are your corporation's responsibility. So if there's any stalking, any threats on company ground, it affects the company's bottom line.
Exactly.
So, and these employees are affected. It could be why they come in late to work, why they do poor work, or why they don't show up at all.
Exactly.
So it affects the company's bottom line. So, and I build awareness. I educate first, like I said, the supervisors and upper management. Once the policy is in place, and I work with the legal department and the security department, and if those departments are non-existent, that's fine. And then I move the policy to the employees, where the employees are educated. And I don't approach this as, who here is in a domestic violent relationship? No one would raise their hand. So I it's kind of like laying out the policy, so that way they know they won't be penalized, they will not lose their job. It's non-discriminatory, non-retaliation, and they could say to their supervisor, yes, I am in a violent relationship. What is the right protocol? How do you handle that? What is a good response mechanism? And I build awareness with the company. I also train the upper management and supervisors how to handle these situations. So that's on the corporate side, what I do on the corporate side. And like I said, corporations need to step in to address home violence because they're already involved.
Exactly.
I consult with a domestic violence cost calculator. A company of, no matter how small or big the company, it is affected. Because in that company, I can assure you there's a victim in there, or there's an abuser, or both. A company of, for example, just off the top of my head, of 150 employees is losing $30,000 per year due to domestic violence. And this calculator factors in tardiness, absenteeism, healthcare costs, productivity, all of it. So So it affects. It's in their best interest to address
Impacts
this.
their bottom line.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the school side, I educate students on erasing home violence. I do group reenactments. I educate them what is domestic violence, because for a long time, even myself growing up in that atmosphere, I didn't even realize that, because when you live in that atmosphere,
It's normalized.
You think,
Yeah.
right, it's normal, this is how everyone lives. And it's so to educate, you know, students on that. What are the warning signs, especially older students, like middle school, like if you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. So those components are core with my company.
Wow.